Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trunapole of the Iceman. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of my AAC champs, the Bearcats, who unfortunately are not playing again Saturday in basketball. I'll get to that in a minute. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys, if you found the show, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. I'm on a roll again. I'm up to 810 subscribers. I appreciate, as always, every single one of you guys for subscribing to the show. All right, guys. There's not a whole lot going on with the Bearcats because, they're not playing. The game got postponed again. Like I said, I'll get to that in a minute. Bengals news, we got potentially a new running backs coach coming. We got a new offensive line coach, new defensive line. So there's not a whole lot going on there. But the news of the day is Philip Rivers retired officially from the NFL today after 17 years. Now the question is, and I put this on the Ice Bar and I put it on Bengals Brigade, do you guys think that he is a Hall of Famer? Now, I'm just going to read you his stats, and then I'll give you my opinion after that. All right, he's an 8-time Pro Bowler, 8 times NFL Top 100. In 2013, he was the Comeback Player of the Year. He has 5,277 completed passes. That's 5th in NFL history. He ends his career with a 95.2 passer rating. That's 12th in NFL history. He has 421 passing TDs, 5th in NFL history, and 63,440 yards passing. That's 5th in NFL history as well. Now, my opinion is I think he is a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He has no Super Bowl wins. I don't even think he made it to a championship game. But he was a very, very good quarterback for a very long time. 17 years being the head of 2 different franchises. Mostly for the Chargers, San Diego and Los Angeles. But if he'd gotten a Super Bowl, yes, I think he is. Now you can compare him to Eli Manning. I think Eli is definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. Again, I don't know if he's a first ballot, but he's also got 2 Super Bowl wins. And those count a lot. Most time that validates your career in the NFL if you are a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So my opinion that I think Philip Rivers is a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's gonna be a first ballot. I think it's going to take him a little while. And it depends on what class he is coming in with, depending on who he's up against. So we will see what's going on here. Let's see here. We got some stuff in the chat already. All-Star Gambling. Hey, you're new to the show. Yeah, All-Star Gambling. What's up, buddy? Welcome to the show. Chris Bengal, what's going on, brother? What do you got, Titus? Are you happy Donald Trump is out of office? I don't talk politics on here. Sorry, Titus. Not opening that can of worms, buddy. But it is Inauguration Day, and we do have a new president, and his name is Joe Biden. That's all I'll say on that. I'm looking for the Buccaneer stuff. Where is it? The hat's right there. It's still there. I've left it up there for my wife. That's about all she's going to get. Get up there. Let's see here. Chris, yes, that's one of the stories I was about to get into. There's a rumor that Andy Dalton is going to be the next quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. Now, if you guys watched any of my videos I did last year before I started going live, I thought Andy Dalton was a perfect fit for Indy because he doesn't really make mistakes. They had pretty much everything except the quarterback. Sure, they still wish they had Andrew Luck. If they had Andrew Luck, we'd be talking about the Colts in the same light as I think the Chiefs, but they don't have them, and that's what we don't want to happen to Joe Burrow. We don't want him to become Andrew Luck and retire quickly. So, we got a new we got a video chat person. Right? All-Star Gambling. All-Star Gambling. Oh, it's TC.
It's just me.
What's up?
TC.
What's up, TC? What's going on, buddy?
That's my YouTube name. I forgot to change it. It popped up. So
I got you. What's going on, brother?
So how what's up?
Nothing. Just talking about Phillip Rivers, and you think he's a Hall of Famer or not, or what's your opinion on it?
I don't. This is my opinion, though. You know.
What's up?
Be honest with you.
Yeah.
I didn't. There was a back when there was like he was a rookie in his first 5 years or whatever. I didn't see him as a quarterback, a good quarterback. To be honest with you, I never thought he was. Well, I never put it this way. I never thought he was special. Like I never saw saying like, "Hey, this guy's got a future" at that time.
Well, throwing for 4,000 over. Well, let's see here, over 63,000 passing yards in a 17-year NFL career. That's not special. I mean, it's not. It's a pretty good long career. Like Titus says, he said that. See, that's what I'm talking about. They're going to have a Super Bowl to get in the Hall of Fame. I think that's crazy. They should change that rule. It's not actually a rule, though, Titus. It's just what they always measure it by. You know, that's pretty much what they do there. It's not an actual official rule, but I mean, it's just like that in every sport, though. I mean, LeBron James in the NBA is chasing the GOAT, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever, except for it's either him or Oscar. I mean, Oscar was pretty good too, but then I've seen Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I didn't see Oscar, but anyway, I mean, they all chase the championship. That's what everything's based on.
Yep.
Joe here. Let's see here. What's up, Joe? What's up, Jeff? See another Bengals group. Some doofus posted that we should trade Burrow for Watson. Oh yeah, I actually posted some article. It was an article or something. I posted that in Bengals Brigade. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. There ain't no way in the world we try to trade for. I mean,
maybe 10 first-round picks.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Houston doesn't even have any first-round picks. I mean, Houston needs if they're going to trade Watson, they need first-round picks. So I don't see that happening at all. And yes, part of the punctuation, I agree with you. Oscar will always be the GOAT. Exactly. Is there anything else, TC?
Nope.
All right, brother. Thanks for joining the show, brother. Take it easy. Yep. And just like that, you guys can join the show as always. Be on the video chat and get on the discussion pages. Let me get on. Let's see here. DP, hey, Strawberry Ice. How is Jeremy D doing? And is he coming on the show with you? If not, I understand. Jeremy D will not be on the show today. He's very, honestly, he's very busy at work. He is dealing with family issues. He had a family member pass away. Looks like he probably can join the show Friday. That's what I just got done talking to him before the show started. So Jeremy D should be back on the show. I mean, me and him are not mad. There's nothing going on with me and Jeremy. We are cool. So you guys don't have to worry about that, but he does have a job that he gets paid to do. So he's got to, take care of that first. So, Chris Bengal. Let's see here. What's up? Would you trade Burrow for Trevor Lawrence? No, I would not. But I'm biased. I love Joe Burrow, and no, I don't think Jacksonville would either. I mean, why would you trade for a injured quarterback when you have a young, uninjured quarterback who could be as talented as Joe freaking Burrow? I mean, I think they're gonna have back-to-back awesome first-round picks. I should be on when Jeremy D can't. And you guys can join the show. I mean, we can do the video chats. I mean, not as co-host. You just sit there, if you guys have anything to discuss, we can discuss it there. Like I said, UC in Houston, the game is postponed Saturday. For COVID reason, there's no rescheduling yet, but they do have a rescheduled game The game versus Tulsa, that was supposed to be played Saturday, January 16th, has been rescheduled for Friday, February 26th at Fifth Third. So at least that game has been rescheduled. I don't know how bad the COVID issues are with the Bearcats, but it is what it is, and hopefully we'll get to play sometime soon. Now, I posted the poll, and I put it in Bengals Brigade, and I put it in the Ice Bar, and about is Philip Rivers a Hall of Famer? And I got a lot of yeses. We've got in Bengals Brigade, we got 13 yeses and 7 no's. Let me see what's going on with the Ice Bar here. Find it here. One sec. Okay, here we go. And in the Ice Bar, yes is winning again. We've got 5 yeses and 2 no's. Now, like I said, I was comparing Philip Rivers, to Eli, and I posted this in the Ice Bar too. If you look at the career starts, and the biggest difference is Eli's got 2 Super Bowl wins. The career stats, their starts, Eli had 230, Philip had 240. Eli had 234. Philip had 240. Their record, Eli's 117 and 117. Philip is 134, 106. Yards, Eli 5,023. Rivers 8,444. TDs, Eli 366. TDs for Rivers 421. INTs, Eli threw more of 244. Philip only threw 206, and Super Bowl wins 2-0. And that's the big. I mean, if Eli did not win 2 Super Bowls, he wouldn't be even considered for a Hall of Famer. But since he's won 2 Super Bowls, that makes him, I won't say automatically a Hall of Famer, but it makes him in the mix, of what is a better shot at getting. And I don't think Eli should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he should be at least get in on his second try. And he's also got the Manning name behind him too. So, it's an interesting discussion that I've been hearing a lot of guys. But I think, look, Philip Rivers, man, if he if he could have won 1 Super Bowl, it would have been no brainer. He would be a Hall of Fame quarterback, but he hasn't been on there, or he didn't get there. He didn't win it. Now, let's see here. All right, Titus, what's up here? If Zach Taylor don't do anything next year, I would like to see Luke Fickell to be our head coach next year at the games and a boatload of money if he wants a job. Like I've said in past shows, I'm not a big college football coach going to the NFL. There's been lots of guys who were successful, very successful in the NFL and failed more than the ones that haven't. Now, Urban Meyer's about to be a coach, so we'll find out. And I just don't know if Luke's an NFL head coach. I really don't. He's a great college coach. And selfishly, I want him to stay at UC until he wants to retire. So I don't really want to take him away from the Bearcats and make him the Bengals head coach. But, I mean, honestly, look, guys, I've said this a million times. I don't think Zach is as bad a coach as everybody thinks he is. He was not given the right tools, all the things he needed to have a consistent winning team. You can't tell me that offensive line was good enough to win games. You can't tell me that defensive line was good enough to win games. I mean, I think the proof is in the pudding of what we had, of what Zach had to work with. I've said before, everybody's like, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. If there's no place to run the ball, there's no holes, there's no nothing. It's really hard to run it. Now, they did seem like they ran it better in certain games, but they didn't do it consistently. And that's the biggest problem with this team. They didn't do stuff consistently. Now you can say that's Zach Taylor, which could be. I don't know. But if you don't have the talent, it's hard to win in this league. And if you don't have the talent at the lines, the offensive line, defensive line, it's hard to win in this league. I mean, look, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes goes out. They still win, but they also did you see how much time he had to throw the ball? And it was, and it wasn't like the Browns weren't coming after him. They were coming after him, but he still had time to throw it. And they had time to do stuff. If you don't have time to do stuff, then things happen. All right, Crown. I'm going to try to give Jeremy D a heart attack. Luke as the Bengals head coach. Yes, Jeremy does not like Luke. He is not a fan of Luke because of 1 year that he was the coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and it was the worst year they've had in the last 20. But also, they were under sanctions. They had all that stuff going on. Luke got thrown in the last minute, and there's been multiple experts, quote unquote experts, who have said Luke actually did a pretty good job for what he had to work with. Chris Bengal, what's going on? I'll bring you up here. Hey, what's up, Chris? What's going on, brother?
Not so much. Brought up from another mother. but you just got done saying the Luke guy, give Jeremy a heart attack. That will not work because we already got a coach. What he should have do is tell Jeremy that Luke is the offensive line coach, and he's going to help protect Joe. Maybe that would give him a more heart attack. So,
no, you really want to give Jeremy a heart attack? That Ryan Day is leaving, and Luke Fickell's been the coach of the Buckeyes. That would give Jeremy a heart attack. That would give him a heart attack more than anything else. That would freak out.
But to be honest, that is just my opinion. Philip Rivers should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if she's got anything to do with the Super Bowl, not having any rings, but I think he should be in, his old team, Hall of Fame.
He's definitely going to be in the Chargers Hall of Fame. They might put a statue out there for him.
Do that, but I don't think he should hit Canton because, no offense to any of his stat. I just think that what's having at least 1 and 1 on his finger, then I don't think that Canton would probably vote him in. He'd probably be in there like everybody, come together and decide, who's gonna go in and stuff.
Well, Dan Marino's in there, and he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. I mean, there are quarterbacks in there that don't have rings, so it's not a beat all, but it does. I look at it this way.
Dan Marino's probably got more marketable, more. They probably look at he probably can sell more stuff than Phillips.
They might. Titus says, did they say anything about mini camps and training camps? Are they going to have those this summer? Have you heard anything about that yet? I have not heard anything about that yet. I'm hoping they are. I said I know Zach and Joe have mentioned, they're hoping they're going to, but they don't know anything yet. I think they got to see what's going on with the pandemic and all that stuff before they make that decision.
This 10-minute clout. I'm watching my mouse when I come on your show now, but this per minute stuff's got to go away because we got to get back to, full house fans in the stands because it's more. It's more. See, this is what gets me. What in the heck they're gonna do at the Super Bowl? Like they're gonna have Ford.
They're gonna have limited capacity is what they're gonna have.
So it's gonna be like dead watching it. I mean, it's gonna be like quiet, and it's like, that's why I don't watch wrestling today because I just can't get into it without any fans. I mean, just since I've been in it for 20 years, but it just. Yeah, I just can't watch it. I mean, you got to have the fans screaming and hollering and stuff. But yeah, this per minute stuff has got to. I know you want to protect the player's contract, but sooner or later you got to say, okay, let's just try it out and see if we can have a full head of fans and stands.
Right, exactly. Hopefully, we'll get this thing under control or whatever has to happen so we can get that. Now, Crown has a question for me. Who's the best defensive back ever?
I got one.
Who you got?
LT.
Defensive back.
Oh, my bad.
LT
My
was
bad.
a
I said it
linebacker.
wrong. My bad. My bad. Okay, let me hear yours.
Well, mine's Deion Sanders. He's the best one I've ever seen, personally.
Damn, I know. I can go that.
It's kind of hard not to. I mean, for my age group, that's who I saw, and he was awesome.
Well, we're about the same age.
All-Star Gambling. I can't wait for the Reds. Neither can I. Hopefully they'll be starting sometime soon. I have not heard anything about when pitchers and catchers are reporting, at least not officially anyway. So anything else, Chris?
No, just quiet downhill. I'm just getting tired of listening to the sports station because they keep on changing every single damn day who they want the Falcons to get, and then first they say quarterback, and then they say wide receiver, and now they're going with your damn running back.
Oh yeah.
So that it's kind of good news for number 5 for our Bengals because but yeah, I'm about to no offense, I'm just about to I got a lot of stuff I want to I got to do coming up, so might not be on as much, but I'll be on it when it gets close to definitely when it gets close to draft.
Sounds good, brother. As always, appreciate you, man.
And no problem. And I booked my hotel, so it's 100% confirmed now. I am coming up there in April for my birthday, so I'm definitely gonna check out the Reds home games. This is on my birthday. Maybe they got a.
That is if they let fans in.
Well, I'm gonna beg them because I'm gonna be like, I came all the way from Georgia. I'm looking for a Chris Sabo bobblehead.
I got one of them. I got 2 of them actually.
Well, you be good. I'll let somebody else get on, and you be good. Be safe out there.
All right, brother. As always, appreciate you. All right. All-Star Gambling, which is TC. Yeah, I can't wait for the Reds. I'm ready for the Reds season to start. I wonder if Ken or Keith are out there because both those guys had some pretty good points that they posted on my show after I went off on the YouTube channel. And if those guys are out there, you guys can jump on and we can discuss that. But yeah, I mean, baseball season's getting ready to start. I think the Reds, put it this way, if the Reds don't do anything, I really do think they're going to sign a shortstop. I really do think that's going to happen. I mean, there are some talk here that let me see here. Where was it? I saw it. Some talk going on about Trevor Bauer. I saw that somewhere, and I can't find it right now. But Springer signed with the Mets. That's going to get at least the free agency started. I mean, because we're less than a month, or maybe about a month from spring training start. Because usually, I don't know if it's going to start beginning of February or like the middle, but February spring training starts. So, we're getting close to that, and like I said, I've said a lot. Bauer's not coming back for the Reds. I would love Trevor Bauer to come back. I don't really think the Reds are rebuilding. I really don't, because put it this way, if they were rebuilding, I think they would have got rid of these guys a long time ago. Would have traded Moose, would have traded Castellanos, would have traded Gray. All these rumors that we've heard, nothing happened. So, and like I said, season's about to start. So I don't see them trading any of these guys. I really do think they're going to stay pat and they're going to go for it again. Let's say, Crip, who was the cornerback in the day? Who was the cornerback from UC back in the day? Jeff, he played for the Bengals. Oh yeah, AJ Hawk, or not AJ, Terrell Hawkins. Yeah. Oh Jeezel, not AJ. Was it AJ? Is it AJ Hawkins? No, it was Hawkins. What was his name? Yeah, and he actually came to the Bengals, and I always remember his claim to fame is they'd always show Jerome Bettis running his ass over. But his brother is on NFL Network. What is it? Hawkins is his last name. I cannot remember his first name for some reason. But yeah, he was on the Bengals for a while, and he was a UC grad. Matthew, any early Super Bowl predictions? I say Green Bay, Kansas City. Kansas City wins another one. Conor McGregor. Oh, I would love to watch Conor McGregor this weekend. And Dustin, I'll take Conor. I'm taking Conor, dude. I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan. I mean, dude, I was so into it when he did the fight with Mayweather. I actually believed he might beat him, but he didn't. I mean, if it was an MMA fight, I think he would have beat him. But yeah, I would love to watch that fight this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to. Trying to work that out with Mrs. Ice. See if I can figure out how to get it. But Super Bowl predictions, honestly, I'm going with Tampa Bay. I mean, I really do think the Bucs. Now, the only thing that's going to be hard is it's going to be cold in Green Bay, and they got to go there. And it's not going to bother Tom Brady. That's not going to bother Tom Brady one bit. He has played in the cold, but Aaron Rodgers is throwing dimes, man. He's playing some of the best football of his life, and he's playing as good as he was a couple years ago. Now, the funny thing is, in my family, my wife, as you guys know, is a Buccaneer fan, which you got the hat over there. And my brother-in-law is a Packers fan, so they are going to be going back and forth this weekend. It's gonna be kind of fun in our little family chat to hear them talk smack, and I'm just gonna sit back and watch, and I'll type in every once in a while Who Dey and Joe freaking Burrow, and they're like, he's not playing. They're not playing. I know, but I'm rooting for them anyway. So, but yeah, I think it's hard to go against Brady, and this would be the first time in the playoffs that Brady and Rodgers are going to meet up. So that's going to be cool. And I don't know. I just believe in the Bills. I don't know why. I believe in the Bills. I believe in Josh Allen. So my pick right now is the Bills and the Buccaneers. I'm usually wrong, so I wouldn't go bet any money on it or anything like that. But those are my picks, and I would say that anyway. Even if my wife wasn't a Buccaneers fan, because Tom Brady he doesn't lose very often. He's won to 9 Super Bowls and won 6 of them. That's pretty good. Crown, what's up, brother? If Deion played baseball, he'd be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Yes, he would. I mean, now that's one thing. If you guys remember, I think it was in 97. His last year, he played baseball. And he played for the Reds. Excuse me. And he had a great season. I don't know the stats offhand. I'd have to look them up. But yes, I agree with the Crown. If Deion would have concentrated on playing baseball, he could have been a Hall of Famer in baseball. Now, the thing is, if you guys remember, I don't know how a lot of you guys are younger, but if you guys remember Bo Jackson, I seriously believe that if he did not get hurt, with the Bengals hurting, did not get injured, he could have been very close to being a Hall of Famer in football and baseball. He just was ridiculous. The stuff he could do on a baseball field, the stuff he could do on a football field was just unreal. I mean, I love Deion. Deion's one of the greatest athletes ever, but the very first 2-sport athlete that really succeeded at it was Bo. And I love Bo Jackson. I mean, I was rooting against him, obviously, in the playoff game against the Bengals, and I was upset that we hurt him because, like I said, he was one of my favorite players. Watching Bo Jackson was unbelievable. If you guys have ever seen the 30 for 30 on ESPN, Bo knows. If you haven't, you need to go watch it, because he didn't even really get trained or coached up very much playing baseball. He could just do it. I mean, Harold Reynolds talked about where he hit a shot down the left field line, and he thought for sure he was going to get an inside the park home run. And Bo, it bounced off the wall. Bo picked it off the wall with one hand, threw a dart to home plate. And you'll see this on the 30 for 30. Threw a dart to home plate. And Harold Reynolds is going, oh my goodness, I can't believe he got me. And he smoked it. So, I mean, I just think I think Bo Jackson is the greatest athlete I've ever seen. Next one is Deion. Both those guys were unbelievable. Tom Brady's GOAT, yes. Oh, who's this? Harry Furball, what's up? Hey, shout out to my boy. Okay. I don't know who that is, but welcome to the show. And oh yeah, of course, Crown. Yes, we know. Deion went to some college. Where did he go to college? I don't know. Was it UC? I think he went to the University of Cincinnati. Yeah, that's where he went. No, he went to Florida State, dude. We all know that. We all know you're a big Florida State fan there, Crown. We know. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he was part of that 1989 draft. Another one of the best drafts ever. I mean, Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer. He's in there. Troy Aikman was in that draft. There's a lot of guys. I think Bruce Smith was in that draft. There's a lot of guys in that draft. And if you ever see the interview with Deion, he's got his hair all Jerry curled out, got his soul glow in. Soul glow. That's a reference to Coming to America, if you guys don't know what that is. But that was one of the best drafts ever. So, not getting a whole lot of discussion about Phillip Rivers. I guess you guys don't really care. Now, I have a question. What do you guys think about bringing Andy Dalton back here as a backup quarterback? I know there's talk that he could go to Indy. Let's see. You got Crown? Yeah, he told the Lions not to draft him. Yeah, I mean that they could do that. I mean that was. I mean you can do that, but they could have still drafted him, because he was with the Yankees and Steinbrenner didn't want him to play football. You know, he first signed with the Yankees for baseball. And Steinbrenner just wanted him to play baseball, and the end's like, no, I'm gonna do both. So he got traded or released, I think, and Atlanta signed him, and then Atlanta got ticked off at Deion. Because one weekend when the Braves were in the playoffs in 92, he played for the Falcons that weekend. And I think the same day he suited up. They didn't put him, I think they put him in for a pinch hit or something in the playoff game for the Braves. So that was a really unbelievable effort. And Matthew. You would love to have Andy back. I think Andy Dalton would be a good. I'm like, bring him back for a backup. I know people last year like we should keep him as a backup. We should keep him, but you don't keep him as a backup for as much money as they were paying him. And Andy wants to start. And only Andy, trust me, Andy's not going to choose to come back here for a backup if he can go to Indy and start. Natty, what's up, man? You can join the show, man. You tried to join Monday, and I got stuff fixed, buddy. So you can join and come on live if you want. Why would he come back? Didn't they bench him and push him out the door? Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I can't see him coming back, but we'll see. When you rather have Winston, I wouldn't mind having Winston, but I can see Winston. Put it this way: if Winston stays in New Orleans, and oh my goodness, who's going to be their starting quarterback? Not Breeze. Breeze is retiring. Well, I'm pretty sure Breeze is retiring. I can't remember the guy's name right now. Oh, Taysom Hill. There you go. Taysom Hill. I'll get it right. If that guy gets injured, and as much as he runs and does stuff, there's a very good chance that in my opinion, that he's not going to make it all year. So I think Winston would stay behooved, unless he can get a starting job somewhere else, to stay there. And you never know. If Winston has a great preseason, they might start him. I mean, who knows? Yeah, Taysom Hill. Yep, you're right. You're right, Crown. All right, Matthew. I've been trying to promote Andy for it. What about AJ McCarron? There's a lot of guys, better guys, I think. I mean, I remember when we drafted AJ McCarron. Some Bengals fan were like, "Oh, bye, Andy. We got AJ McCarron. He's going to be the new starting quarterback." I'm like, you guys are nuts. AJ McCarron isn't even that. I mean, he's all right. He's a good backup, but I wouldn't. Natty, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, Jeff?
Good, man. I got it fixed today, so I can actually hear what you were saying. And I'd love to get back to our conversation we had Monday when you were talking about the Browns and the offensive line and stuff like that. I would love to you finish your point. What you're saying.
I was saying the Browns are a prime example of how the Bengals have to address the offensive line this offseason.
Yeah, and how in my opinion, how doable it is, because the Browns signed. Well, not signed. They signed one and they drafted another one. You know, they signed one tackle and drafted another tackle, and they fixed their line with 2 moves, and that's what the Bengals can do.
Yeah, and we can't keep kicking the offensive line problem down the. You can't keep kicking the can down the street anymore. Like, that has to be addressed now. Like, I don't want them to be thinking, like Suafilu and Spain are okay guys, but if you could get a better guard out there,
right.
Maybe for like a Tooney, or you don't even need a top tier guy. Maybe bring in like 2-3 mid tier offensive linemen, and then you might get a capable starter out of them.
I mean, the thing is, you can address all this in the draft. I mean, if it all works out, I mean, I think there's still a chance that the Bengals could get Sewell. I think there's a very good chance Sewell could drop to 5. And if that happens, and then in the second round, you take a guard, because in this draft, it's a very offensive line heavy draft, but there's only one guy that's worth a top 5 pick in this draft as far as offensive line goes, and that's Sewell. Everybody else, you can get they're lower in the draft, and you get them in the second round. So I mean, just say Wyatt Davis is there in the second round, from Ohio State. Just say he's there. You get Sewell and you get Wyatt Davis. I hate to give Cowhead credit, but if you do that, dude, your offensive line is fixed, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you still have the problem of the center position to address, though, because I mean, an AC for a big man like that, it's not easy for them to come back as quick as a guy like Joe Burrow, where he's not having to move 300-pounders around like that. Like, Joe Burrow's throwing the ball, not blocking. So that's another issue you have to address. And you could probably just sign a free agent. If you don't like Billy Price, you could sign someone else.
And that guy probably won't cost you that much to sign him. And the thing is, you're not relying on him to be your starting center the entire year, because Hopkins will be back. I don't think he's going to be back for the first season, for the first month of the season. Definitely not the first couple games, but by November, beginning of October, he might be back by then. So you don't need to spend a ton of money on guy. That's where Billy Price. And this is where it would be so nice if we could just count on him to be a backup and be a good enough center, which I'm scared that the Bengals will attempt to do that. And honestly, I will not be surprised if they do that, if that's their plan. I won't be surprised not one bit if their plan is to have Billy Price as a center until Trey gets back.
You see, Jeff, this is my problem with this organization, is just how short-sighted some of their decisions are. It's like you instead of going into free agency and getting a guy that's a proven starting, it may be a starting level center or a replacement level guy, just till Hopkins comes in, you're going to bring in Billy Price. And Billy Price had a few games, but the guy's just not consistent enough to warrant giving him a chance.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I mean, they got the other thing they got CJ Finney, the guy they got from Seattle, which I mean, I have no idea. I have no idea how good he is. He never even played, and I don't think he played for Seattle that much or at all. So that's the other option, I think, that, or as of right now, that we have at center. But the thing is, a center, you could also find another center, down in the draft. You can find these guys that could, be a stopgap. Yeah, because basically you need a stopgap. And the thing I've said, and you've had this conversation, that you can't stop stacking talent. You got to have talent behind you. That's where I'm like, I don't know about you, but I'm okay with the Bengals keeping Billy Price and keeping Fred Johnson as backups, not starters, backups. I think that you can put them in for 1 or 2 games and be okay if somebody gets hurt. But that's the thing, is you need guys behind your starters.
You're right, Jeff. I personally like Fred Johnson because he did some things. He just wasn't very consistent. I think Fred Johnson might be a guy who's a capable starting tackle, with the right coaching. Because Jim Turner, he probably wasn't developing these guys very well. So you might get something out of him, Adenji, as your guys that, if Jonah Williams goes down, you feel comfortable throwing them out there, and they might be able to even play better than Jonah. Just
right. Well, the thing you I remember this point you brought up is because I said this, Jonah, he hasn't been able to play a full year yet. I said, is he injury prone? And one thing you brought up when I said that, you're like, is he injury prone or is he being put in bad situations with bad players next to him that's getting him injured? So that's the thing with him. And honestly, as of right now, you have to look at what he's done. He is injury prone for the most part. No matter how it happened, he missed his whole first year, and he missed the last 2 or 3 games of this year. So that's another reason why you got to make sure you got good backups. And I agree that Fred Johnson, I think he's capable. He could be a good tackle. He's awful at guard. He should never play guard. He can't play guard. He cannot play guard at all. But he can play tackle. Yeah,
he's
too big,
6'1",
and he can't move. He can't. Guard's got to be a little quicker. Lateral movement, it's a different position.
Yeah.
I mean, most guys, either you're a tackle or you're a tackle. You're not, guards, you can play guard, you can play center most of the time. Well, most of the time. Not that, Billy Price is an example of that, that you can't always play guard or can't play center.
Fred Johnson's too big. He's 6'7", 6'8". How do you expect a big man like that to bend like a 6'2", 6'3" guard? He doesn't have the same type of waist bend. He's not Whitworth. Whitworth's like 6'7", but guy's an athletic freak.
No, I bring up Whit. That was another thing that somebody brought up on the Bengals brigade, which I don't know if you've gotten to join my new groups yet, Natty. But I got. Are you on any Facebook groups or anything? Or are you even on Facebook? I don't even know.
I have Facebook, but that's mostly for private use. So.
Okay. Anyway, this is stuff that somebody brought up on my Bengals group called the Bengals Brigade, but they were asking if I thought we should trade like a 5th, 6th, or 7th round pick to try to get Witt back here, and I said I wouldn't trade anything any higher than that. I don't know how much longer Witt. I honestly thought he was going to retire after this year. But it doesn't sound like he's going to. And either way, I would love Witt to come back here to at least retire as a Bengal. But I don't know. How do you feel about bringing Witt back here to Cincinnati? I'm not saying that if we got him, I wouldn't rely on him to be your number one guy, but he could be, a piece.
He's still a top tackle right now, even to how old is he? 38, 39?
He's in his 30s. Yeah. I'm not sure how old he is offhand.
Look, you might get 1-2 seasons out of him, but I think a 5th or a 6th, you're talking about taking away the blind side for Jared Goff. They're not gonna want more than that, I'm just saying, even though he's an older player, they might still want something higher than that.
Right. Exactly. That's where I'm like, I wouldn't give any more than that because he's only got at the most, I would think at the most 2 more years at the most.
Yeah. 2
playing left. And to me, the Bengals, you could take that pick. You give him a 7th round pick. You could pick another guard, or you could pick a wide receiver, or, somebody who could contribute if you do it right and you do your homework, could contribute for more years for what the Bengals need. And the Bengals don't need to just get a stopgap. We need a stopgap as far as the center goes, because Trey Hopkins is going to come back. We don't need stopgaps at our left tackle or a guard or anything. We need guys who are going to be here for next, hopefully 6-7 years with Joe Burrow and growing this thing, and trying to get to where we all want to go. So that's where, I love Whitworth. I wish they would have kept him, but then I think I was talking to you about this. I said that, that's when the whole 5-year playoff run went down the hill. We'll let Zeitler go. We'll let Whitworth go. Sanu and Marvin Jones. And the funny thing is that it hit me while I was talking. I think it was you I was talking about this. That if that didn't happen and we didn't go through all this stuff, we wouldn't have Joe Burrow. So things always happen for a reason. For some reason,
Yeah, it's Jeff. You need the guys on the offensive line. You know what I mean? You need a guy. You need the guy. You don't need replacement level like. That's what got us hurt that's what got Joe Burrow hurt in the first place is you think you have replacement level guys like Asufilu is a replacement level guard. You could bring someone in that's better and he might stabilize the right side of the line. And as much as like I'm not a Bobby Hart fan, Bobby Hart is a bridge tackle.
Yeah.
He might benefit from better guard play, but that still doesn't mean you give Bobby Hart $10 million a year. He is what he is. He's not a top tackle. He's a bridge starting guy. He's like your second, third best tackle on your team at any given point. And
that's where if the Bengals, if Sewell is there at 5, you got to take him. They absolutely have to take him. And because he could be your left tackle if he stays healthy for next 10 years. If he's as good as his tape is, and everybody's graded him out to be. If he's that good, you got to take him. You put him at left. You move Jonah to right. You get another guard. Say like you could sign a guard. Say you sign Tooney or you get Wyatt Davis or you get one of the Alabama guys. There's guys out there that they could easily get in this draft to fix the offensive line so simply. Now, once they do that, they got to address the defensive line. And to me, the biggest thing with the defensive line is the edge. We got to have guys coming off that edge, and we're going to have to replace Geno too. As far as I know, they're going to release Geno from what I've read and I've been told. So you got to get another guy next to DJ Reader, and hopefully DJ Reader can stay there a whole year. But those are the biggest issues that the Bengals have got to fix. And I don't know, for some, just last offseason just gives me hope that they will do it. I mean, no, they didn't fix the offensive line. And honestly, I think they put too much trust in Jim Turner and what his ability was to coach these guys up. I think they trusted him too much. And that's where they were at. I honestly believe if Turner had said we need to get another tackle in here, I think they would have done it last year.
Yep. The issue was not addressing the line last year, but clearly that was Turner convincing Taylor that they had pieces and he could develop them. And then, we saw that Joe Burrow got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the main reason why Jim Turner was fired was the fact that Joe Burrow got hurt. And then management was probably looking at Zach Taylor side eye, like, this is your responsibility. This is, like we trusted you. And, look at what happened,
Right. Well, that's where I'm like, people say, well, if he only wins this, we can't have a fourth year of Zach Taylor. Dude, I don't think. If we only win 4 games again next year, there is no freaking way Zach Taylor is coming back. I mean, to me, it's playoffs or nothing. He's got to make the playoffs in his third year. I mean, you've got to. And I'm not. But you know this, Natty. If they go 8-8 or they go 7-9 or something like that, Mike Brown like, all right, we're on the right track. I know he'll say that. I know that's the way he do it. I don't want him to think that way, but I know he's going to.
That's the problem. But the thing is the schedule is a lot tougher next year because you're playing playoff teams, and then the AFC North has nothing but playoff teams.
Yep.
So, like, the only way you walk out of this division with a playoff appearance is if you go 4-2 in the division, meaning you beat the Steelers twice, the Ravens twice, or the Browns twice, or you lose a few. You split a series with one of those teams. If you get to the playoffs, good. Zach Taylor, maybe Zach Taylor makes a big jump. You go 8-8, Jeff. It's hard to, as a fan, sell me on Zach Taylor. We're doing it. It's like, we got to move on, find someone else. And
I agree with you.
I thought there was a big mistake giving him another year this year because you could have gone ahead. But I can see why they want to give Joe Burrow continuity. They don't want him swapping in head coaches year in and year out. But it's like you need to win now because Joe Burrow's got 4 years left on his contract.
Burrow, yeah, you got 4 and a 5th-year option.
You got 4 years left, and if you squandered like 2 of those, you only have 3 years. And then come the 4th year, Joe Burrow's going to be asking for an extension, and it's probably going to be in a range of a top 5, top 10 quarterback if we think he is who he is.
Yes.
So you're stuck in a hard rock because you didn't take advantage. You kept a lame duck coach around, and then you just move some coaches around, and maybe you're expecting growth. But my optimism for the next season is a little low. I'm not feeling it. I have to see the moves they're going to do the offseason. Right. But even then, it doesn't move the needle for me because I think we know what Zach Taylor is as a coach. I don't think he was qualified now for the position. Maybe. Do you think he?
Do you think he got? Do you think he improved? Do you think he's gotten any better, or he's just stayed the same as a coach?
Slightly, like a slight improvement, but I mean. He's a good play caller, but as far as everything else, like we didn't see development from the offensive line. We didn't see development from certain players, and then we had
hold on. How is that? And here we go again defending Zach. But how is development on the offensive line? How is that Zach's fault? They never had the talent there to begin with. And then if you look at the development of AJ or not AJ T Higgins, and the development of Sample this year as tight end, and just the way Joe Burrow, as he developed, because beginning of the year, he was holding the ball onto the ball too long. And before he got hurt, he was getting rid of that ball like that. So as far as that, I don't agree with you as far as that. I did see improvement in areas where the Bengals could actually improve because the guys are talented enough to improve. The offensive line, they're not talented enough to improve. Sometimes you're only as good as the abilities God has given you,
Yeah.
And you can only work with what you got. And that's where I think they were at with the offensive line. And I think that Zach did improve these guys. The defense, I mean, that's a whole other thing. That's Armadillo. I think he should have been gone for sure. But that's why.
I look, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. At this much, I don't expect much from Zach Taylor. If we go 4-12 next year, I'm not going to be mad or upset about it. I'm just going to be like, it's expected. So Zach Taylor, like, he could improve. Like, if he goes out there and he beats a Kansas City or he starts winning, like, in the division and you're seeing the Bengals pick up wins against the Ravens and the Steelers and the Browns and you start picking up wins and you tally up wins and I could be like, okay, like, yeah, but a 7-9 season, 8-8.
Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. No. But I'll put it to you this way. I think we are in one of the toughest divisions in football. But I keep saying if we fix the offensive line and we get some able to get some pressure on the quarterback, I think we have the talent to compete with the Steelers. We have the talent to definitely compete with the Browns. And I think the Ravens. The Steelers they're on a downhill slide. The Ravens, I think, are the most stacked, talented team they have in our division as far as talent goes. But I don't know if their way of play actually transitions into the playoffs and big games all the time. Because if Lamar Jackson's not running all over the place on you, they're not doing as good. And the Bengals actually, in the first time they faced them, they actually stopped Lamar. They didn't stop anybody else running the ball, but they stopped him. Yeah. So I think it's not that we can win the division, but I think we have a shot at getting a wild card next year. If you fix that offensive line and you give Joe Burrow time, he's going to have another year. Because if you listen to what he said on Cowherd's show, the interception he threw in the Indy game, he knows exactly what to do next time he sees that coverage. Yeah. So it's going to get to the point very quickly here for Joe Burrow that you're not going to be able to fool him at all. And if they are able to use him and run the ball consistently, we're going to be really hard to stop, no matter who the coach is.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Jeff. You got to look at it like this. The Ravens are talking about extensions with Lamar Jackson already, like his 4th year. If they give him in the range of 35, 45, 50 million a year, they can't afford to keep all those defenders and some of their offensive linemen.
Yep.
And then the Steelers are going to be a team that's going to hover around 6-10 and 7-9 because they don't just flat out lose. It's the problem we had with Marvin Lewis, where he wasn't that bad of a coach that you were going to just flat out lose.
Right.
Only
you could get high enough draft picks. Right.
And then Ben Roethlisberger, like I think at this point he's kind of done. He's not the same guy he was 5-6 years ago. Like we're kind of looking at that generation of traditional pocket passes kind of being phased out of the game, especially we just saw Phillip Rivers retire today. So, I think our division.
I don't know they're being phased out. You're having more quarterbacks that are more mobile, but they still, Patrick Mahomes still kills you from the pocket. He destroys you from the pocket more than anything else. So
I said tradition. I didn't say new age. Yeah. I feel like the new age pocket passers are guys that can move around a bit, move in the pocket, get you some yards after.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Philip and Ben couldn't move at all. But to what you're saying before about what's going on with the Ravens and what's going on with the Steelers, that's where I was talking to my friend here who's a Browns fan. I said, honestly, this division in the next couple of years should be fought out between the Bengals and the Browns, because both teams are set up to win. Well, we're not set up to win right now. We could be, depending on what's happening in the offseason here. But with our quarterbacks, and honestly, I'll take Joe Burrow over anybody in our division. I'll take him over Lamar. I'll take him over Baker. I'll take him over Ben. I'll take him over any of them. I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks ever. That's why if they get that, they get that, and I keep it's just the same point over and over again. If they get that offensive line fixed, we're gonna be pretty dangerous.
Well, here's the thing: is Joe Burrow came out the gate playing at an elite level. Like you don't see guys at 23 years old picking apart defenses with like multiple time Pro Bowl players. Like that doesn't happen every year. Like people say like Trevor Lawrence and these other guys, like those guys are like 2 years younger than Joe Burrow, and they don't have probably the same ability to read a defense as high as Joe Burrow does. Like the things Joe Burrow does in the pocket are like way beyond where he's at, in terms of age.
Yeah.
So, like,
and I think Mike Brown, I don't know, I'm not in his head, but I think he sees that. And we know Mike Brown wants to get upgrades to the stadium and all that stuff. And I do think Mike Brown wants to win a Super Bowl for his dad and for all that stuff. And I really do. I don't think Mike Brown exactly knows. I don't want to say knows how or is willing to do everything he's supposed to do or should do. But I think he went or leaned more toward that direction of things that he needs to make the team better last off season. So that's where I'm thinking that like you just said, the clock is ticking on Joe Burrow's contract. They know that. This is the new age NFL. You get the quarterback. You don't have to pay him as much. You pay everybody else around him, and you go win a Super Bowl real quick. That's the new age of the NFL. So that's where if that's not the Bengals mindset, I don't know why it's not. Because now's the time to do it. So that's where I'm like, I really do think they're going to get the offensive line fixed. I really do think they're going to move forward, and then it's going to be on Zach. And I think they've put it all on Zach. If you listen to what Zach has said, I'm in charge of the coaching staff. It's on me. He's saying that, and I don't think he's saying that just willy nilly. I really do think it's him. And I think they've had a conversation where Zach's been here 3 years. It took Marvin a little while to really get complete control. I don't want to say complete control, but more control and more trust from Mike Brown to do the stuff that he thinks needed to be done for the organization. And Zach might be getting there. I'm not sure what he's done to deserve that, but he might be getting there to that point with Mike Brown, which to me, they have to. If Zach is your head coach, you have got to trust him and Duke Tobin to make the right decisions, because you put them in this position to make these decisions, So that's where I'm hoping that they do that and we can move forward. And yes, next year is a very tough schedule. This is like Jeremy D said it on the show lots of time. This was the year to make the run, because it was an easy schedule. You look at the Steelers; they were 11-0, but it was false. They weren't that good. They didn't play anybody. So I don't know.
Well, I think what irks me this year is just so many fourth quarter leads just blown.
Yep.
Like you had the opportunity, like even if we didn't get a top 5 pick, if you go 7 wins, 8 wins, maybe 9-7.
At least you're going in the right direction.
You feel better about Zach Taylor now than you do currently, where you're like, well, I don't know, man. Like, I still got questions. Like, can he do it? Is he going to do it? Is management going to bring in offensive linemen for him? And my thing is, I don't think Mike Brown's really making the decisions anymore. I think he just has the final say now. It's his kids, so it's up to his kids to basically bring in the necessary people to play or to come play for the Bengals, and they can't keep blowing away chances because, like, look, I know Bengals fans don't want to hear this, but Joe Burrow is a guy where he wants to win, and if he's not winning, he'll force his way out. Well, we might have another Carson Palmer situation, like we're just tired of losing because you can't get it straight, and then Joe Burrow forces his way out. You could have what happened with Deshaun Watson, what's happening with Deshaun Watson, where he's trying to force himself out of the Texans.
See, I don't totally know if Deshaun Watson is actually doing that. I don't know. I mean, it's because you just got to read. That's what I hate about tweets and Facebook message and stuff like that. Everybody can type stuff, but just because you type it that way, the way it's you want it to sound, doesn't mean that's the way somebody's going to read it, So some of the stuff that Sean, I don't know if he's trying to force his way out or not. I'm not saying he is or he isn't, but it's just everybody assumes he is, but Deshaun's never actually come out and said it yet. So I don't know if I'm not sure he is.
Who knows? We'll see. But that's the thing is you don't want that kind of drama lingering, especially with a guy like Joe Burrow.
Yeah, exactly. Because you could have the same thing with Carson. I mean, that's what happened to him. He finally got sick and tired of it. And look, I'll tell you that Carson's last year. I mean, he had Terrell Owens and Chad Johnson on the same team. Both of them were chirping in his ear, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. I think all that mixed in with not making the playoffs again and then them not going anywhere. I think he's like, I'm done. Like I can't take this anymore. That's kind of where I was. And honestly, I was a huge Carson Palmer fan, and I was kind of with him. I'm like, this is stupid. And I was so mad at the Bengals. I was so mad at Mike Brown, and but for some reason, after that happened, the switch flipped on this organization. They drafted AJ Green, drafted Andy Dalton, and went to 5 straight playoffs. So I don't know what happened or how that happened, but you go from a team that was, dysfunctional, arguing one season to the next season, they're going to the playoffs, and it started a 5-year run. Now, again, they didn't win the playoff game, but that's how quickly things can change. That's what I try to give Bengal fans hope that can easily change for this team this year. But we won't find out till, we got to get through we're not going to find out anything until after we get through the season and really until free agency starts. I mean, the only thing the Bengals can do right now is try to sign Willie J3 and try to sign Carl Lawson before free agency starts. Other than that, they can't do anything. Go out and talk to guys or whatever. We're not going to know anything.
Well, it's probably happening right now because they do this ahead of time. I don't think they do this like a week or two.
No, it's happening. But I'm saying we fans, we won't know anything.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. No, I agree. They're doing stuff, but we won't know anything. It's all just be purely speculation for us.
And here's the thing, Jeff.
Yeah.
Carson Palmer was a high-end potential type quarterback, like a top type quarterback. And then
definitely.
I think he was a very demanding, like he wanted to win. Whereas opposed to Andy, where Andy was more of a team kind of player, like he wasn't a vocal leader, like he was just a guy on the team. Like I hate to say this because I know people like Andy, but I was afraid when that man dropped back every time. Like I was like, oh, is he going to turn the ball over? Oh no! Like, I was being so scared with Andy because like Andy was a good guy, but he just wasn't a top end quarterback. Like, and that's what I think we were missing.
But that's what that team. I mean, I've said this before. If Joe Burrow was our quarterback in that 5-year run, we would have won a playoff game or two. Hell, we might have won a Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah. And I think I don't think Andy's gonna come back. Honestly, I don't know how that relationship ended with Zach Taylor, but I don't see it happening. Like I could easily see him taking a spot maybe for like the Indianapolis Coats who need a quarterback.
If he's got a chance to start, he's going to go somewhere and start. I guarantee you that.
And this should tell you, Jeff, just how crazy good the level of quarterback play is today. Because a guy like Andy Dalton with probably 100 game starts and like 2 or 3 Pro Bowls and 5 playoff appearances is a guy who's regulated to the bench.
Right.
Like that should tell you how good the quarterbacks are nowadays.
Yeah, I mean we are in the golden age of quarterbacks and young we've been in it, I think. Even young quarterbacks come out of college. I mean, these guys are ready to go. I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes. Look at Josh Allen. I mean, it's taken him a little while, but he's gotten better. Look at who's the kid? I can't think of the guy's name for Arizona. Kyler Murray. Look at these guys. I mean, they're ready to go day one. Joe Burrow, they're ready to go day one. You know, I remember that was a big conversation last year. People were like, "Oh, we should let Joe sit for a year." I'm like, "For what?" I was like, "Did you see the offense at LSU? It was an NFL offense." I'm like, "What does sitting for a year do for him?" Now, people are like, "Well, so we don't get him hurt." I'm like, "Well, you know, they think my argument was they think the offensive line's good enough. You know, if they think it is, then he should go out and play. You know, but just the quarterback play is just ridiculous right now. How good these guys are.
You only sit a quarterback down for a year that you drafted if he hasn't picked up the nuances of the game and has it mentally. It's not you guys can't play physically, it's the mental aspect. Joe Burrow came out throwing on that Chargers defense like it was nothing. Like, dude,
he won the game. If they don't call that freaking pass interference on AJ, he wins it. How cool would that be? There's a couple things that happened in this year that could have completely changed the season. If they don't call that PI on AJ Green and Joe Burrow in his very first game brings his team back to win the game, I think that changes the total season. I really do. And obviously the other one is Joe getting hurt. If he doesn't get hurt, I said this, that I think they had a chance to go win the rest of the games. I didn't think they were going to beat the Ratbirds, and I didn't think they were going to beat the Squealers, which I was wrong. They beat the Squealers. But if Joe doesn't get hurt and we finish strong, you know, the second half of the season, and we see improvement, we're talking differently. And I think Joe was getting to that point. I do think the offensive line was sort of get to that point. I mean, they were only going to get so good. That's the problem with the offensive line we had. They were only going to get so good. That's where I keep banging the table, saying you got to have talent there. But those two things happening totally changed this season, I think.
Because it's not like the Bengals don't have weapons to play with. You know what I mean?
No.
Like the Bengals build outside in instead of inside
out. Yes,
and
exactly.
It's like you have Joe Mixon, you have Pirine, you have Bernard, you have Higgins, you have Boyd, you have Sample. That's enough. Yeah. That's enough firepower for Joe Burrow to at least win some games. You just need the offensive line, and that's what killed me last year when I saw I saw DJ Reader and I saw Trey Reigns, and I'm like, oh, that's good. Are we gonna get an offensive lineman? And it was like Suafilu, and I'm like, oh, it's like a bridge starting guy that, you know, I don't know where they got the idea that it was okay to put Michael Jordan and Bobby Hart. Like that's the guys they're gonna die with, or not die with, but like go to war with.
Right. Well, the thing is, I mean, how do you feel about Spain though? I think Spain is a starting guard. I was very impressed with what I saw from him.
I think Spain's good. I think he's a guy where, like, if you get a better guard on the other side and you have Spain, I think you're okay with the offensive line. You maybe get a right tackle, maybe it's Sewell or you move Jonah to the right.
If they get Sewell, they can move Jonah to right, and then you got to get, and then just say in the draft, and we're just going to draft if they do that. You can find a guard in the draft in the second round. You can easily find a very suitable, capable guard in this draft in the second round that you can plug and play, and you got him and Sewell anchoring your line. Your line is set and fixed. And all these Bengals fans keep saying, oh, we got to get Jamar Chase. I'm like, for what? If we don't have the line, it doesn't matter. It'd be the same thing as we've done the last 2 years or last year. You got all these toys, but Joe Burrow's laying flat on his back or running for his life. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And I think Chase would be a good pickup if you sign like two guys on your line, and you're like, okay, we can go into the draft looking for a guard or maybe like another tackle in the third or second round.
Exactly. That's what I said.
But after Panay, like who's there? Like, would you take the Slater guy or was it Slater?
You got Slater. You got Leatherwood. You got Brown. Those guys, two guys are Alabama. You got the guy from USC, and I can't remember his name. Is that Slater? Is that who you're talking about? Is he from USC?
No, Slater's from Northwestern.
Oh, yeah, Northwestern. Okay, yeah, that was the next guy I would say. The guy from Northwestern. So there's multiple guys that are that next. I mean, there's only one guy that's up here. You know, the rest of them are down here, and there's a lot of them that are down here, and they're good players. They're not, not to knock any of them. They're good players. So there are multiple guys that you can get. Who I would take next, I honestly don't know. I liked what I saw out of Leatherwood and Brown in the championship game, but that's just because I saw them. I mean, Northwestern, I didn't even pay attention to the offensive line, to be honest, the games I watched.
But do you take a tackle there at 5, or do you move back maybe to 10?
You got to trade down. Yeah, if Sewell's not there and they have not addressed the offensive line, in my opinion, you trade down, you get another second round pick, and there's going to be an offensive lineman there at, say you trade down to 7 or 8 or something. There's going to be another offensive lineman there that's worth taking with that pick. And the thing is, too, it also helps you financially because you don't have to pay the guy number 5 pick overall. You pay him number 7. That's a big difference. And that helps out with signing other players, too. Now, Sewell, you get him, you pay him.
I think it just depends on what Miami does at number 3, because I think Miami's the most immediate team to pick up Sewell. Because if they like him and they take him, then that's it. Like we have to either draft a receiver or something.
Yeah, the only thing that's giving me hope is I think their more immediate need is they need playmakers. They got the defense line. Their offense line is pretty good. Tua wasn't running for his life or any of that stuff, so they're not really a problem with their offense line. You could always improve it. Their biggest need is they need playmakers. They need a guy like Jamar Chase. They need a guy like Devontae Smith. That's what that offense needs. So that's where I'm like, I think there's a very good chance that he's going to drop to us. I think Jacksonville is going to take Lawrence. I think the Jets are going to take Fields, and then you got that's 3. So then you got is it Miami next or is it Atlanta next? Miami. Then so they take those two. Yeah, so they take those two quarterbacks are gone. Then Miami takes Devontae Smith. Then Atlanta. I think Atlanta's going to draft another quarterback. I mean, I think they're trying to move on, and like I said, that's the new NFL. You get that quarterback, you get him on the cheap contract, and you build around him quickly. And you go win a Super Bowl. And that's where I think most NFL teams are going to try and do that. That's why another reason why I think the Jets are going to move on from Sam Darnold and get Fields, because you got to get the guy, the new shiny toy, and build around him with a new coach and all that stuff. So that's what I think is going to happen. And I have no idea. That's my mock draft in my head. And if all that happens, then Sewell's sitting right there for us.
And even if you already signed a right tackle, you still pick him up. I still think you pick him up at position, because it's like, like, He maybe he sits here because remember he's barely 20 years old. Like this is a guy who's 20 years old and he's 6'6", 320. Like
he's huge.
That's a man. That's not a
that's a beast, dude. That's a big boy right there. And he didn't even play last year. I wish he would have, because I would have loved to actually watch him play, because I never even heard of the guy. Like I said, until somebody mentioned it here on my show.
I mean, I saw some like someone break his film down and. Man, for a big guy, he moves like a D end, like that.
Yes.
Like he moves quick. Like he's probably running in the 4.6s. I'm gonna be honest, like 4.6, 4.7 range for a tackle. Like, man, watch out with that. Like I think you have a good tackle duo at that point with Jonah and Panay. It's a matter of who's gonna protect and who's gonna play right. I think Panay plays left and Jonah moves over to right, which because Jonah was actually a right tackle in college. So that's what I think you do, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm more optimistic about the Bengals than you are what they're going to do, but hey, we'll see what happens. But I'm always trying to be optimistic. It's to me, I just can't.
I can't stand Bengals fans, and I'm not putting you in this, Natty, at all. I can't stand Bengals fans. Oh, we're always terrible. Oh, we're a terrible franchise. I'm like, no, we're not always. Like the 90s, we were. We haven't been that in 20 years. So
I just, as a fan, I kind of come to realize that the Bengals are the Bengals, but it's mostly just management. You know what I mean? Like,
but the thing is, there's lots of teams like that. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals, they haven't been a great run franchise. The Detroit Lions haven't been a great run franchise. I mean, hell, the Bucks, this is the first time they've made the playoffs in, I think, 17 years. Yeah. So, I mean, it happens to multiple franchises. Go ahead.
Well, the Cardinals did go to the Super Bowl like 10 years ago, so that's more than we've done. I'm gonna be honest. And same thing with the Bucks. They won a Super Bowl in the 2000s.
2002.
Yeah, so they know how to win, and I think Mike. I think Mike Bryant tries to win. He just doesn't know how to, and it's like, we'll see how the season turns out. I'm not optimistic, but I'm still going to be sitting there on Sundays watching the games.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's not going to change for me, so.
Cool. All right, Natty, I've been on here like an hour and 16 minutes, so I'm gonna roll on out of here. But I appreciate you as always, brother.
Thanks for having me on, Jeff. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. Take it easy. All right, my thanks to Natty and Chris Bengal for joining me on the show. Like I said, for you guys missing Jeremy should be on the show Friday. Possibility maybe tomorrow, but I kind of doubt it. It's more realistic shot that he will be back with me Friday, and we will move on from there. I gotta fix my computer. There you go. So anyway, we get to the points where I'm going to invite you guys to my new Facebook groups that I run. I don't help run them. I run them. They're mine. They are, and I invite you guys to join them. Every single one of them. They are Bengals Brigade, Bearcat Ruckus, Radical Reds, the Ice Bar. Now, the Ice Bar, I'll explain it. It's a show page. It's just funny memes, TikToks, just fun stuff about the show, different things we're doing, stuff like that. And then the one I don't run, but we are live streaming on right now, is called the Ohio State Bucknuts. They're a great run group. Great admins. They're very nice to us, to me and Jeremy, for letting us put our show on their page every day. And I appreciate Kip and all those guys that run the show there, or run the group there. And you can follow me on the rest of my social media platforms. Those are all under Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then TikTok. Like I said, me and Jeremy do a lot of silly TikTok videos, and it's kind of funny. We think we're funny. And I'll be pulling the sound off this later on tonight, putting it on the podcast. Do me a favor, rate, like, and review. And give me a 5-star review. I'm on BeanPod, Apple Podcast, iTunes, pretty much wherever you guys get your podcast. Listen to it, download it, share it, tell everybody about Sports Strawberry Ice, especially on YouTube, because we're getting so close to 1,000. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 810 subscribers. That is awesome. We dropped back one this weekend, and now I'm back up to 810. Or not back up. I was never at 810, but I moved to 810. So I'm very, very appreciative to all you guys and gals. Make sure you just tell everybody about Sports Strawberry Ice. Get them to subscribe. That just helps me out. And get them to watch it on the YouTube channel. And other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow, Thursday, and then we'll roll into Friday. And we got the NFC and AFC championship games coming up this weekend. So lots of football. Well, not lots, but the big games, fun games, championship games, fun games to watch. Fun ones, hopefully, that the Bengals will be in next year. Fingers crossed. We'll see. And as always, this is for Jeremy D. Miss you, brother. Join the show tomorrow. I know, Friday. You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati, so act like it. Then you come to me. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!